You've seen the 5, you've seen the 6. This is the Hyundai Ioniq 9. Now, if you've been following Drive.com.au over the last 12 months or so, you will have seen prototype versions of this SUV called the Ioniq 7. It's actually going to be called the Ioniq 9. That makes sense because look at the size of it. This is a large 3-row electric SUV. Hyundai thinks, even though the electric vehicle market is cooling globally, not just in Australia, Hyundai thinks that this vehicle is emerging at the right time, that the market is ready for it. We don't know pricing and spec details yet for Australia. That will be announced closer to launch. Hyundai tells us first half of 2025. The vehicle will go on sale in Australia. We'll have those details closer to launch. But now, let's take a closer look at some of the details of the new Hyundai Ioniq 9.
Ioniq 9 is big too, not just inside the cabin, but also in terms of exterior dimensions. It's 5,060 millimetres long, 1,980 millimetres wide, 1,790 millimetres high, and sits on a 3130 millimetre wheelbase. That number is important because Ioniq 9 has the longest wheelbase of any Hyundai production vehicle. Across the range, Ioniq 9 can be had with 19, 20 or 21-inch wheels, 16 exterior colours, as well as 6 unique two-tone interior trim options. Hyundai quotes a 110.3 kilowatt-hour battery pack with either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The long-range rear-wheel drive model is powered by a 160 kilowatt rear motor, while the long-range all-wheel drive model adds a 70 kilowatt front motor. The performance all-wheel drive model is the fast one, and it gets 160 kilowatt motors at the front and rear axle. Speaking of fast, performance is sharp too, with the fastest Ioniq 9 completing the 0 to 100 km/h run in 5.2 seconds and running from 80 to 120 km/h in just 3.4 seconds. Hyundai has not yet quoted an official weight figure for the Ioniq 9, but with a bigger battery pack, it may be heavier than the Kia EV9. Crucially, Ioniq 9 will charge from 10 to 80% in 24 minutes on a 350 kilowatt charger. And don't forget, if you're looking for your next family SUV, whether it's electric or not, you'll find it over at Drive Marketplace.
I love what Hyundai has done with the interior of the Ioniq 9. It is space efficient. There's lots of storage space everywhere. It feels really light and airy as well. Obviously, that's a little bit easier in this particular vehicle because it's got that real light beige coloured interior trim, but it feels very open and airy. There's a lot of room. This particular seat is pushed all the way back, so you can see the sort of room I've got here. The other part of this bolster is pushed all the way forward. Still enough room for me to sit on that side. And then, of course, there's actually room in that third row for adults as well. But I think the ambience and the quality of the cabin that Hyundai has executed is really good. We need to get a bit more of a feel for that when we're driving. We will test drive this vehicle soon, but in terms of the design, the execution, the choice of materials, things like fit and finish, this feels very high-end, really impressively put together. There's no doubt that the Ioniq 9 is an attractive SUV. I also like the fact, and this is reinforced after speaking to the design team, that the third row, it's 2 seats in it, not 3. They didn't just shove 3 in there for the sake of it. I like that. No doubt it looks good inside, outside. I do think there's something to be said for the fact that the electric vehicle market in Australia is cooling a little bit. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. But the Kia EV9's been on sale in Australia for a while. Australians, I think, are ready to start considering a large SUV that has an electric powertrain, and the market will decide in regards to the popularity of the new Ioniq 9. But if looks count for the first impression, I think this is a very attractive large SUV. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Do you like the style of it? Do you not? If you do, why? If you don't, why? Tell us. Let us know. Otherwise, all of the details for the new Ioniq 9 SUV, everything we know so far, it's over at drive.com.au.